Hey folks, and welcome to week number 6. So, two turn-in dates this week, Monday and Thursday. So, for Monday, watch the week 6 video. You're doing that right now. I want you to check your feedback on last week's work, okay? So you guys turned in the annotations last week. This is a place to go back and take a look at that. I want you to complete the study analysis instruction and then the activity. I'll show you those in just a second. By Thursday, I want you to look at your proposal template and sample proposal. I want you to write and submit your Essay 2 proposal. Look over your sample Essay 2. So I always try to give you guys a sample. This will give you an idea as to what I'm looking for. It's going to be really helpful here. And then complete the sample essay exercise. Let's go ahead and take a look at all of this. All right, so first and foremost, so obviously you can check the feedback on last week's work. That's easy to do. The study analysis. Okay, so we've got the scholarly article analysis here. Okay, there are 3 different pages. What I want you to do, click them. There's one on study design. It sort of explains what things we might be looking at as we're trying to complete essay number 2. All right. One of the things we'll need to know is what kind of study is it? Different kinds of studies have different strengths and different weaknesses, okay? So I want you to click both these links. They'll walk you through 2 different websites that sort of explain different kinds of studies and different kinds of population groups that we might consider. Then, authorial background and conflict. Again, there's an explanation here. Sort of some steps to go through. Look for statements of conflict of interest. Generally, those are in the footnotes or endnotes of your study. Look for statements, again, generally in the footnote or endnote, about how the study was funded. Okay, who paid for it? Do a quick Google search of the author's names, these sorts of things. So just go ahead and go through this list. Then, journal background. Okay, again, just a little bit of information here. Find out who publishes it, what university houses it, what do the board of directors do. Do they have any specific conflicts of interest that might impact what they publish? One other thing I always think about here is, do they have a clear focus, right? If they're just publishing on articles about science, that's really weird for an academic journal. It's just too big. Ordinarily, they've very, very significantly focused ideas about what they want to publish. They might publish about just like a specific type of periodontal work, okay? Journals tend to get pretty specific. If it's a broad journal, that's probably a cause for concern. All right, so those are the 3 things we want to start with here. All right, so those are those 3 pages. Again, you'll see these correspond actually to this study analysis grid. This will create a Google Doc. It's a just copy link as we've used before. It'll open this study analysis grid. That grid looks like this, okay? Again, so you'll see authority, study population and study design, and bias. Information you guys find going through these 3 things will help to answer those questions. This is the same grid we used last week in our group projects, looking at the 2 diet soda articles, okay? What we're going to do now is actually go through the process to use this grid with the 2 studies that you're going to use for essay number 2. Okay, so you found 2 scholarly studies. We're going to put one of them here and one of them here. In this case, you will put your MLA citations in. And we're going to fill in this grid, again, comparing the 2. Trying to understand the difference in study design. Trying to understand the difference in authority or currency. Trying to understand potential biases in one or the other. Then ultimately what the takeaway of each of those is. Okay, as always, there's a sample. So you can take a look at that sample grid if you'd like. You'll see. This uses those diet soda articles. There's a lot of information on here. You'll see sort of what sorts of things I'm looking for. All right, so once you've done that, you're going to submit it to the Dropbox right here, and that's all of Monday's work. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the week. Okay, so the next thing, of course, is an essay proposal. So my hope is to be able to get you some feedback on those annotations on Tuesday, basically, so you can get a good thumbs up right away that you are on track. Okay. from that point, we need to start thinking about what the differences between these two studies are, and you're going to put that together into a proposal. There's a proposal template here. If you open that up, again, it's a Google Doc link. It'll copy, and into your Google Docs, this will already be set up. What's the research question that these two scholars are trying to, two groups of scholars probably are trying to answer? Why is this important? And then what are we looking at? What pieces of this study what pieces of the studies are you considering as you're trying to consider which one of these is stronger or what ultimately the takeaway is? As always, there's a sample proposal, and here is also a sample essay too. The last thing I want you to do, read over that sample essay. It's again here in PDF format, and then do the exercise, okay? This could be a group exercise actually going to involve the whole class, not just your small group. If you click that link, you will get this. And what this is the sample essay 2. What I want you to do, read the essay, then add comments about what you like, about what you don't like. Just as a reader, what do you feel like they do a good job with? What do you feel like they don't do a great job with? And then finally, comment on what seems out of the ordinary. How does this differ from the sorts of essays you've been asked to write in the past? Okay, those sorts of 3 things. Add 3, 4, 6 comments on here, just various different locations. Again, Google Docs works pretty simply. Highlight, and then click the add comment button. It'll pop up automatically, okay? As always, if you have any questions this week, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help.